So this is actually a story that I think there's probably a lot of these stories going around on some level, and I certainly have my problems with the Affordable Care Act. I know we would have gotten a much better health care system if Mitt Romney was elected. But it's in the Philadelphia Inquirer. It's about a guy named Dean Engstadt. And Dean is a logger. He's 57 years old, very self-sufficient guy. He'd been uninsured since 2009. And in 2011, he had a pacemaker and a defibrillator implanted into his body to help his ailing heart pump. Or, excuse me, his ailing heart pump more efficiently. The guy would scrimp and save to pay his medical bills because he couldn't get health insurance. I don't read what the Democrats have to say about it because I think they're full of it, he told his friend Bob Linehouse, who suggested he sign up for the Affordable Care Act. However, that refrain changed earlier this year when a faulty aortic valve almost felled Engstadt. So he was facing a choice: buy a health plan through a law he despised, or to get this life-saving surgery he needed, or die. Well, it turns out he bought health insurance through the Affordable Care Act. I think a lot of people I talk to are so misinformed about the ACA. I was before Bob, his buddy, Bob Linehouse, went through all this for me. I would recommend it to anybody. In fact, I've encouraged friends who, including that one guy who hauls my logs. I knew I was really sick. I figured doctors were going to have to operate, so I tried to work as long as I could to save money for the surgery, but it got to the point where I couldn't work. We argued about it for months, Engstadt said. I didn't trust this Obamacare. One of the big reasons is because it sounded too good to be true. January came, his health declined, his doctor made it clear if he didn't get the valve replacement surgery, he was going to die. So Linehouse came over to Engstadt's house. In less than an hour, they had done the application. A day later, Engstadt had signed up for the Highmark Blue Cross Silver PPO plan, paid his first monthly premium of $26.11. All of a sudden, I'm getting notification for Highmark. I got my card, and it was actually all legitimate. I could have done back flips if I was in better shape. On March 31st, he had life-saving valve replacement surgery. I probably would have ended up falling over dead without the surgery. Not only did it save my life, it's going to give me a better quality of life. He says the political storm around the ACA is the political parties fighting each other over things that can benefit people. What's amazing is the guy still doesn't quite get what was going on with that. For me, this isn't about politics. I'm trying to help other people who are like me, stubborn and bullheaded, who refuse to even look. From my own experience, the ACA is everything it's supposed to be, in fact, better than it's made out to be. And the guy still doesn't get it. The Democrats are not fighting much about this anymore. It seems to me they're just in vague retreat.
Listen, I was able to find a plan covered under Obamacare that didn't require the chip be installed in my arm.
Yeah, there you go.
I could find that same plan for you.
But the point
Chip-free
is,
option.
this is one of the political hurdles that the Affordable Care Act faces, is that even when people like it, they don't realize that it was politics that brought this about for them. They don't make the connection between what government can do to make your life better and what happens at the voting booth. So much of their votes are cast as a function of just who they perceive themselves to be.
But conversely, I think that really, going back to the 90s when Bill Kristol wrote that memo saying that Clinton's healthcare plan needed to be killed at all costs because as soon as this plan is integrated into the social safety network fabric, it will be expected and demanded and in some way benefit the Democrats just intrinsically because they created the program. And there will be some at least ancillary benefit from that.
It's not just benefit the Democrats. What it does is it begins to change people's perception about government. But again,
which
remember,
theoretically would benefit Democrats.
The irony is, though, is that
clearly
it tends to. I think that something like this changes people's perception of government when they have lived on both ends of it, when it wasn't there and then when it was there.
Absolutely,
because you don't see the same reaction to Social Security, Medicare. Now it's just keep the government's hands off my Medicare.
But you saw the same reaction when these programs were proposed. People said it would lead to communism and all this nonsense.
Yep. And Travis, I'll go back to you. I love this discussion of forcing people to buy a private company's product being couched as a government-provided service. Well, it's government subsidized.
And it expanded Medicaid significantly.
Yes, significantly. I mean, look, and it also imposes a lot of regulation on that private industry.
And is it as good as single payer? No. But is it improvement over what was before? Yeah. Obviously.
I mean, look, even in the context of Medicare, they contract out to private services to do some of this. I mean, so it's not. I mean, I agree with the criticism, Travis.